What if I told you that NASA isn't waiting to launch astronauts to Mars before they discover something alarming about human survival out there? In a year-long simulation, CHAPEA, volunteers have already lived for 378 days in a habitat that mimics life on Mars, and what they found out is equal parts inspiring and deeply unsettling. Today, we're diving into the shocking insights from this ground-based mission, what worked, what failed, and what this means for our future on the Red Planet. CHAPEA stands for Crew Health and Performance Exploration Analog. It's a series of missions by NASA that simulate what life might be like on the surface of Mars. The habitat, called Mars Dune Alpha, is 1,700 square feet, 3D printed, and built inside NASA's Johnson Space Center, Houston. It recreates many harsh conditions: limited supplies, isolation, communication delays and resource constraints. Crew 1, first mission, lasted 378 days. The second mission, of equal length, will begin October 19th, 2025 and go until October 31st, 2026. Volunteers live without fresh supply drops. Food is pre-positioned, most of it shelf-stable, freeze-dried or thermostabilized, like real Mars missions would require. Communication delay is built in. Signals to Earth are delayed to mimic the real lag of up to 2022 minutes each way. That means every instruction, every request, every conversation is delayed. Decision-making is slower. Psychological stresses, isolation, confined spaces, monotony, no fresh air, no real nature. Crew members must maintain morale and mental health under pressure. The data gathered from CHAPEA Mission 1 is providing a wealth of information, confirming some theories but also yielding revelations that surprised even the most seasoned mission planners at NASA. These insights are fundamentally reshaping our understanding of what it will take to survive on Mars. First, the human element. In a high-stakes, isolated environment, the potential for conflict is immense. Yet the CHAPEA crew demonstrated remarkable cohesion, forming a tightly knit unit that navigated disagreements constructively. This wasn't accidental, but the result of careful selection and emotional intelligence. Homesickness was a constant presence, amplified by the 22-minute communication delay. This made spontaneous conversations with loved ones impossible, forcing the crew to develop new internal support systems and find solace within their small, isolated society. The simulation also tested the crew's response to equipment failures and resource scarcity. On Mars, there's no overnight delivery for spare parts. When a water reclaimer malfunctioned, the crew had to become mechanics and engineers, using only the tools and knowledge at hand. These were carefully scripted challenges from NASA to test the crew's autonomy and problem-solving skills under pressure. By tracking which failures caused the most disruption, CHAPEA is helping NASA build more robust systems and develop effective contingency plans for the real journey to Mars. Perhaps one of the most surprising insights was the critical role of simple coping tools. While NASA anticipated the need for exercise, the data revealed that personal entertainment became a lifeline. Video games provided a sense of agency and achievement. Virtual reality headsets offered a powerful psychological escape, allowing crew to momentarily leave the habitat and immerse themselves in lush forests or bustling cities. Hobbies provided creative outlets and a sense of personal identity. The key takeaway was a paradigm shift. These activities are not luxuries or downtime. For a multi-year mission, they are mission-critical tools for preserving mental health and ensuring peak crew performance. On Mars, a simple question to Earth could take up to 44 minutes for a round-trip reply. This communication delay isn't just an inconvenience, it's a fundamental shift in operational strategy. During the CHAPEA simulation, mock emergencies starkly revealed the consequences. The crew couldn't rely on mission control for real-time guidance, forcing them into a state of unprecedented autonomy where every critical decision rested solely on their shoulders. This delay cost precious time in crises, complicated planning, and exacted a significant mental toll. The psychological weight of knowing that help is millions of miles and many minutes away creates a unique and persistent form of stress, a core challenge for any future Martian crew. Beyond operational hurdles, the sheer isolation poses a profound psychological threat. Over long durations, the human mind can suffer. Psychologists identify patterns like the third quarter phenomenon, where morale plummets midway through a mission. In the habitat's confines, minor irritations can escalate into significant interpersonal conflicts, straining relationships essential for survival. The crew also battles a deep sensory longing for Earth, the smell of rain, the feeling of wind. To combat this, the CHAPEA mission tested robust mental health protocols. These included structured private time, virtual reality escapes to familiar environments, and carefully managed communications with loved ones, all designed to build the resilience needed to endure the profound loneliness of another world. Life on Mars will be defined by scarcity. The simulation confirmed that limitations on water, varied food, and spare parts loom larger than many expect. With resupply missions taking months, nothing can be wasted. The crew relied on a closed-loop system, recycling every drop of water from sweat, breath, and urine, a process that is physically safe but can be psychologically taxing. Food monotony was another major factor. A diet of freeze-dried meals can crush morale, making the small vertical farm and its fresh greens a vital psychological oasis. When equipment failed, there was no next-day delivery. The crew had to embrace a repair, not replace philosophy, using 3D printers and their ingenuity. The simulation proved that a single failure, a broken pump or a depleted component, can trigger a cascade of larger problems, threatening the entire mission. Designing habitats with private space, even small private quarters, recreation zones, green crop-growing areas help with mental health. The Mars Dune Alpha includes zones for fitness, rec room, gardening, pre-positioned supplies with redundancy, backups for supplies and systems, planning for failure ahead of time, psychological support, scheduled communication with Earth, entertainment, routines, VR, AR, personal social rituals. These things help. Real mission training in analog habitats, so astronauts are already psychologically and physically primed for Mars demands. The CHAPEA mission does more than just simulate Mars. It holds up a mirror, revealing how fragile human wellness becomes when stripped of Earth's fundamental comforts. We're not just talking about fresh air, but the psychological bedrock of our existence, instantaneous communication, a global support network, and the knowledge that home is reachable. CHAPEA systematically dismantled that bedrock to see what would happen. What NASA found is both a validation of our potential and a stark, cautionary tale. The data confirms our deepest fears about long-duration spaceflight. The relentless monotony and sensory deprivation of a sterile habitat took a measurable toll. The 20-minute communication delay with Earth transformed every minor problem into a potential crisis, creating constant low-level anxiety. It's one thing to theorize about the psychological impact of extreme isolation. It's another to see the biometric data, the elevated cortisol, the disrupted sleep patterns that proves it. These aren't science fiction tropes, they are quantifiable hurdles. Yet amidst these challenges, the crew demonstrated profound resilience. This is the promising side of the ledger. When faced with simulated emergencies, from equipment failures to medical issues, they innovated. They formed a tight-knit community, relying on one another for technical and emotional stability. The mission's success hinged on their ability to maintain a shared sense of purpose, turning their focus to the scientific work that gave their isolation meaning. It proves that while the environment is hostile, the human spirit for collaboration and discovery is a powerful countermeasure. As we push towards sending astronauts to Mars in the 2030s, the lessons from CHAPEA are foundational. Every piece of data, from nutritional intake to task efficiency, directly informs the design of future missions. This is how we learn to build better habitats with considerations for mental well-being, not just engineering. It's how we develop AI-driven support systems and virtual reality escapes to combat isolation, and how we refine mission protocols to balance demanding work with essential downtime. CHAPEA is a critical data point in learning how to live beyond our home world. Ultimately, the journey to Mars is a dual challenge. The technical hurdles are immense, But CHAPEA reminds us that the human element is the most complex variable. What we do now, how we build our ships, support the minds of our explorers and design their tasks, will decide whether that future is triumphant or tragic. What do you think? Are we ready for Mars? Leave your thoughts below.